This is another frequently asked question series. I get asked a lot, and I also see this on forums get asked a lot. Should I buy a cheap Balisong for $10 now, or should I save up and buy something better, or should I go all out and buy something extremely expensive? This is my opinion on the matter, so I guess you'll have to just kind of take it with a grain of salt, but it's based on my experience with cheap Balisongs all the way up to extremely expensive Balisongs. When people ask me, should I get something, some cheap butterfly knife they see at an online store, and they're like, it's only $10, only $20, should I just do it and learn on it and then wait later to get something? This is all the money I have, so on and so forth. My advice is always, don't bother wasting your time with the cheap CCCs. They're pretty much only going to last about maybe a month. With heavy flipping, maybe even less. The only exception to that rule is maybe the M-Tech twist. Mine in particular has lasted a little bit longer, but then I don't flip it as much as most people because I have a lot of other Balisongs. This is a Rising Sun that I did a review on a little while ago, and shortly after the review the thing already started falling apart. This is the Tack Bali, kind of the same story, a little bit better constructed than the Rising Sun, but again, just a little bit of flipping and, things start to get a lot looser, and the washers are just not constructed very well. It doesn't swing very well. So that's really the reason. You're pretty much going to be out your $20, $30 on that cheap Balisong within a month anyway, which means to replace it, you're going to have to spend another $20 or $30, so now you're already up to $60, right? It's much better, in my opinion. I always recommend save up a little bit more money and get the best Balisong you can afford. Something that's going to last you. Usually I recommend the Bradley Camara. This is a Camara 1, so this isn't made anymore, but they're on the secondary market probably for around $70, $80. Honestly, to go from $20, $30 to $80, it's a $50 jump. Everyone's financial situation is different, so maybe $50 is a lot for someone. But that being said, it's still well worth the cost because this is not going to break after a month. This also has, and this is something that people tend to overlook, not only is it better constructed, this comes with a very good warranty. This is backed by Kershaw, who manufactured this for Bradley. You break this knife even when you're flipping it, their warranty policy is so good you can send it back and they will fix it for you. Okay, try sending this back to China and tell me what happens. That's the other thing. This pretty much has a lifetime warranty on it for only $50 more, and most likely you won't even need to send it back. So for those reasons alone, it's worth it. But also it's going to flip better because it's better constructed. You're not going to have to worry about pivots being constructed bad or this thing coming loose and God forbid the blade comes loose and cuts you. These things are built very solid. So for $50, yes, it's a jump. It's an increase in price, but it's a worthwhile increase in price. So now you're in this mid-range, and some people say, well, if I can get the Camara, should I step it up and get a 51 or something in this price range, which there really isn't a whole lot. But if you can, again, I say go for it because you do get, again, you get a good warranty on it. You get better materials. Is it going to flip better now? I mean, is the price that you pay going to get you a better flipper? Probably not. It's probably not going to necessarily flip better. That's more subjective than anything. Some people might prefer the Camara over the 51 and vice versa. So, but I would still say that this is a nicer knife. Knives in this category, they are nicer. I think they are worth the extra cost. One more thing to consider. Keep in mind, you buy this cheap knife here. I mean, the second you buy it, you're not going to sell this on the secondary market. I mean, maybe a used, cheap, crappy knife. It's pretty much worthless as soon as you flip it. It's a piece of junk. Whereas the Camara, I see these go secondhand for about no cheaper than 65. So worst case scenario, you sell it, you take maybe a $15, $20 hit. Not a big deal. Same thing with a 51. You go and you sell this, you're going to get most of your money back because these knives have value. Now, some people will be in this category and say, well, okay, I have 200, 250. Should I save up even more and go for something like a custom or close to a custom, something like a Basilisk? This is a Thai Basilisk. Well, that is really, really subjective. Basically, at that point, you're talking $4, $5, $6, $700. Sky's the limit at that point. And like I said, from here to here, are you getting a better flipper for your money? Is that going to get you a better flipper? Probably not. And from here to the customs and the knives like the Basilos, yeah, it's not necessarily going to be a better flipper. But you will get something very unique. You will get something higher quality. You will get something handmade or partially handmade, or just finely machined, such as a Basilos is kind of like a what they call this a mid-tech. It's kind of machined, but also has some hand ground elements to it. This is my favorite flipper. It was worth it to me, but is it worth it to you? I don't know. And I would say, I definitely wouldn't say, you know, if you have the 80 or the around 200 or 150 or whatever it is in this range, and it's going to take you a while, it's going to be hard for you to step it up and upgrade to this level. I would say just go for this. You know, start flipping, go for this, and hopefully down the road, you know, if you really get into it, you can sell them off or save up some more money, then go to this. But I wouldn't say wait for like a whole year before you have $500-$600 to throw on one knife and get something like the Basilos. I wouldn't recommend that. I would say, you know, get the best knife you can afford. If you can save up a little bit more, and it won't take you too much time, you know, go from something like the Kamara to the 51. And then if you really get into it and you really want something unique, you could go all out to this level. So that's my advice on that particular issue. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Thanks for watching.